Yeah, I think it's working. Okay, so hey everybody, from the lake. Oh my gosh, happy 4th of July. Okay, so welcome to week one, and this is prep week, and I'm so excited to kind of go over a couple of the different things that we're going to be doing. So the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and go ahead and type in your one main goal for this week. So is it a big goal or is it a little goal? Do you have a bunch of goals? Go ahead and type those in and let's take a look at those. The second thing is if you are just now coming on and the live video is already over, go ahead and just type replay so that we know that you saw this. Anyway, so go ahead and remember to type in your one main goal for this week. So the first thing that I wanted to say is welcome, welcome, welcome. This is my first ever program to be a coach of, so I'm super excited. So just wanted to talk about a couple things, let you know about the program, but we are going to become fat burners and not sugar burners. So Amanda Truss has formulated this program. She's used a lot of nutritionists and has been under the works for a couple of years, and so she didn't just come out and figure this out. Like, it has been a developed program and tried, true, tested with thousands and thousands of people that have done this. And what I like about it is it just really follows my beliefs about how to eat and in the lifestyle I've been following for the past 5 years. But one of the things that we stress in the program is progress over perfection. So, I mean, if you go ahead and you have a piece of pizza, don't freak out. It's fine. Start again tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. Or if that was lunch, start with fresh with dinner. So just don't freak out. You're not going to mess up anything. It's not life threatening. Like, we're all good. But the first thing, like, you are going to do in prep week is we're going to start working on our intermittent fasting, and we are going to work on going gluten and dairy free. So that's a lifestyle I've been doing for many years, and it is a whole lot easier nowadays than it used to be when I first started. So the intermittent fasting sounds super scary. It's not. Like, we're going to make it through. So it's going to be great. The other thing is we're going to start incorporating some exercises if you guys are up for it. So we have a portal. You should have gotten a login in your email for the portal, and I think it's called New Client Portal for Faster Way. So go ahead and make sure you log into that, and we are going to be using one tool to track our macros, and we will go ahead and get that set up if you have not set it up already. There is a video in your portal on how to do that. So, so really, tips for success. We're going gluten-free. We're going dairy-free. We're going to be intermittent fasting. Now, as far as intermittent fasting, we'll cover this in a little bit in a couple minutes. Don't freak out about it. It's not as hard as it sounds. And we are going to be tracking our macros. So again, really 3 things. So we're going to be tracking our macros. I'm going backwards now. Intermittent fasting, and we are going to go gluten and dairy free, eating whole foods, tracking those macros. What are macros? They are your fats, proteins, and carbs. You have macronutrients and you have micronutrients. And the micronutrients are just like, if you eat a salad or a juice, it's all those just good nutrients that you're getting. Your macronutrients is basically what you survive off of. So your fats, carbs, and proteins. So another thing, as we start detoxing, you might get a little headache. It's fine. Don't worry about it. A lot of people live on a lot of processed foods. Again, we're going whole foods only. So if it had a mother, or if it's from a plant, those are whole foods. Processed foods, if it comes in a box, try to stay away from it. So a lot of us have just, we're in a fast-paced society, and it's eating a lot of processed foods. So we're going to really stay away from those. There's so many chemicals and just yucky stuff in there. So what we are going to do as far as the program, I want you to go ahead and in the new client portal, go ahead and get familiar with that. So really take a look at those weekly workouts. There's a beginner workout if you're not used to working out. There's a home workout and there's a gym workout. I like to do the home workout. I got some weights and I can do it on my own time. You don't have to do it when you're fasting. You can do it whatever time is good for you. So that's good to know. The macro schedule, there is an overview of that schedule, and it is pretty easy. So, and there's also a couple tutorial videos, and the comprehensive program guide is, I mean, you might want to just print it out, bookmark it on your computer. That's going to be a really awesome guide for you guys. But basically, you know, we're going to be relearning how we eat. Our food for thought is going to be different than how it was originally. So growing up, you're taught about breakfast being the most important day of the meal, or I'm sorry, being the most important meal of the day. Eat lots of small, tiny snacks. Don't eat just 3 meals a day. Exercise so much. There's just lots of, let's eat fat free, all that stuff that we have learned. Throw it out the window with the scale. Throw the scale out the window too. But we're going to relearn all of that. Let's talk about the overview of the food cycle. So basically, you are going to have Monday and Tuesday are your low carb days. So what that means for you is the carbs, the net carbs, need to be 50 grams or less. So the way you calculate net carbs is you take your carbs and subtract your fiber. When you're tracking all of this in MyFitnessPal, it will list your total carbs and your fiber. You're going to subtract that and come up with your net carbs. So there is a corresponding exercise day. So usually on Monday and Tuesdays, with it being low carb, we do our HIIT exercises. So we're really going to speed up that metabolism. We're using up our sugar storage because we're not fueling it with carbs, which is going to help us burn our fat. So that is Monday and Tuesdays. So the next cycle that we're going to do is on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday are our regular macro days. So you will have a different goal from your neighbor. So what you need to do is when you track your macros, your fats, carbs, and proteins, you need to hit those macro goals. So I find it pretty easy doing the goals, especially for my fats and my protein, but I have, it's hard. And a lot of people that are just starting this are having a hard time eating all these carbs, but they're healthy carbs. So it's like if it comes in its own little Mother Nature package, that's what you want. So like potatoes, rice, squash, fruit, those are good carbs. So that is our regular carb day, our regular macro day is Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. On Friday and Sunday are our low macro days. So we are eating macros, our carbs, fats, and proteins, but we're eating 25% less of those on Friday and Sunday. Friday and Sunday. Yeah, I hope I didn't say Saturday. So Friday and Sunday are the low carb days. 25% less carbs. So basically you take your macros and then you multiply it by 0.75, and that is going to be your goal. Let's talk about the intermittent fasting. So we, in the Faster Way, practice intermittent fasting, and I've come to love it. And it's just, I do it every day. And there's different ways you can do intermittent fasting, but we are going to follow a 16-hour fasting window followed by a 8-hour feeding window. So we're doing the 16-8 fasting protocol, and there's different types, but what I do is at 8 o'clock p.m. is when I stop eating, and then I start eating again at noon the next day. So if you think about it, most of the fasting time is when I'm asleep. So it makes it a whole lot easier. But as you start doing this, again, remember, it's progress over perfection, and we will work up to the 16 hours of the fasting cycle. So if you can't do it originally, initially, don't fret. It's fine. Don't, you're gonna make it. Like it took me, I think, I don't know, it took me within the first prep week when I started doing this to get it. And you might have some special occasions, a holiday, like right now it's 4th of July, where you might have a parade and everybody's having a big breakfast. If you break it, don't worry about it. Again, start at your next meal or start your fast later that night. It's all good. We're going to progress over perfection. Trying to see, I think that is most of the program goal. Again, I forgot to talk about the exercises. So yeah, the low carb day, we're doing the HIIT exercises. We're doing strength training on the Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So we will be using weights, whether you're using the beginner program, the intermediate, or I'm sorry, not the intermediate, but the gym or the home. If for some reason you're like, I just want to focus on nutrition, 90% of this program is nutrition. So that's okay. But you do have corresponding workouts, and you have those that you can use. So it's all the better if you can. Another thing that, that's kind of important is why. Like, why are you doing this? What is your why? And mine was, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that was my why. I wanted to get healthy. I've had way too many surgeries in my life. I've started falling apart at age 30, and I'm 47 now. So it's been a whole lot better as I've gotten older. And I just want to be healthy. I want to be there for my kids. I don't want to be falling apart. What you eat is what feeds your bones. What feeds your insides. So you need to have, cellular support. That was my why. It wasn't necessarily I want to fit in a bikini, which I do now, but yes, and it's awesome. But that was a secondary result. But what is your why? Like, that's what's going to get you through this program. So I want you to write that down and just tuck it away somewhere where you see that. And if you're struggling one day saying, why am I doing this? Pull that sucker out and go look at it. So let's see if there's anything else that I really wanted to cover. I think that's most of it. But another important thing is stress. So, living a life, you're going to have stress. So with this program, really try to focus on ridding yourself of stress also. So stress makes your body, not you necessarily, but makes your body want to hold on to those fat storages. So a couple things that you need to think about with stress is, like, do you have mental stress, such as family stress, work stress, anxiety? Think of different ways that you can help relieve that. Maybe it is meditation. Maybe it is writing things in a gratitude journal. What about your sleeping habits? Like, is your body stressed out because you're not getting enough sleep? Like, what will help you have a better night's sleep? Maybe it is going to bed at a earlier time. Maybe it is not looking at your phone before you go to sleep, or Netflix or television. What is a good way to relax yourself? So I have fought with sleeping for so many years, and I have, sorry, my children are fighting. So sleeping, so it has been a long time. I would wake up at 3:30 in the morning. I usually have no trouble falling to sleep, but it's at 3:30 and then I'm up till 6 and then I crash hard and I can't get up and I'm a disaster the next day. So one of the things that helped myself kind of overcome all this, like when I wake up, I used to put on Netflix in the middle of the night, and that's the dumbest thing ever. I have a podcast and I just have an old phone next to me hooked up to some earphones, and I just listen to a podcast. And I mean, I listen to the same podcast over and over actually, so there's no surprises, and it's kind of boring, and it, like, I don't know, it just settles me right back down and I go back to sleep and then wake up when I'm supposed to. So that's really helped me. So there might be different strategies that you have. Maybe it's stretching at night, I don't know, but so think about that. And also over exercising. In this program, we don't want to over exercise because that's going to stress out our body. So think about ways to de-stress. So that's going to help you lose fat also, so your body doesn't hang on to it, kind of in that fight or flight mode. Let's see, and we talked about, let's talk about the Facebook group. Also, the more engaged you are in the group, there are going to be daily threads that I'm going to put up. Go ahead and comment underneath them. You're going to post your macros. You're going to post your nutrients on the Facebook group underneath in the comments, and so we'll go over that every day. And that's about it. So drink a glass of water. Also stay super hydrated, because that is going to flush out all of those old toxins. I have really struggled in my whole life drinking enough water, and I used to be a Diet Coke fiend. Go ahead and get off that. So I've been really trying hard to do the water. Oh, one thing about the fasting, with the fasting, you can have herbal tea, of course, water, and coffee. Now, the key is you cannot have over 50 calories. If you have over 50 calories, then that's going to break your fast. So if you stay under 50 calories, you're golden. So I do almond milk in that, and I do some stevia. And I usually do 2 cups of coffee. Don't eat, but I need my coffee to wake up. I mean, I'm just a slow to rise person, so that is okay. So 50 calories or below is fine for your fast. You're still fasting. Once you go over that, you're out of digestion rest. So got to stay in that until you break your fast. And then when you break your fast, I like to do a salad on regular carb days. I know those quick overnight oats are just really good, and that's a good way to get some extra carbs in. And we'll talk about all that down the road a little bit later. But anyway, all right. So again, make sure that you introduce yourself and you write your first goal, your main goal this week underneath the thread, and welcome. All right. See y'all.